What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. A story broke a few days ago out of Baltimore, Maryland, and it was big and being circulated out there in the news. I want to report on it. Now, earlier, in one of my earlier videos today, I did a story about how I think we need a lot of national reform, especially on these crimes that are being committed, and especially crimes and the laws dealing with a lot of juvenile youth and things like that, where they're doing outrageous crimes. You know, this story right here is about a woman that wants to remain anonymous, but it's about a lady that was jumped and robbed of her car keys by two youths that were, one of them was 12 years old, guys, as she was walking back to her house, and a neighbor had to come out and help her. I want to play this video for you and then come back and talk a little bit about this whole situation. And I remember they were talking about changing a lot of the juvenile punishment laws in Baltimore. This is the result. Take a look at this, y'all.
Well, they're calling for some accountability here. We found out an internal investigation into this incident is underway because the teenagers who attacked this woman, they were arrested and taken into custody, but they were released just hours later.
From the third floor of my house, I heard screams of cries for help.
Arch McCowan ran out of his Butcher's Hill home to find his neighbor.
Right about here, and then I came out the door and saw her laying here.
She had been violently attacked and robbed. It was caught on his cameras near the corner of East Lombard and South Patterson Park Avenue.
Right there, and boom. Punch her, kick her.
The victim is now speaking with 11 News.
Am I going to get shot? Because that you don't know. That can happen, you know? You don't know. That's what I was thinking.
She says they then stole her keys and ran off. McCowan was able to help police track them down. The attackers, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, both boys taken into custody.
They were arrested, and then within a few hours, they were released back onto the street. That is completely unacceptable, and it speaks to a breakdown in our public safety system.
Saturday, Councilmember Zeke Cohen and the city's state delegation sent this letter calling on the Secretary of Juvenile Services and the Baltimore Police Commissioner, stating, quote, "We are deeply concerned by a recent series of juvenile suspects in violent crimes released shortly after arrest without explanation. They're asking the agencies to find a fix to prevent these crimes and to better protect the people of Baltimore."
It's really upsetting for me because that was a pretty rough incident for me.
All right, guys, that's the story. And what can you say? I mean, really, that lady will never get justice. She won't. I don't know what lawmaker out there thought that was a good idea, or if he got paid off to do that and give these children a license to just run amok and do whatever they want, knowing that they won't get caught. Or like, if they do get caught, nothing will happen. They said after 2 hours, they was released to their parents. Why? Because they got the car keys back? Listen, guys, let me tell you something. You know, we always put ourselves in these scenarios of if that was my child, or if that was this, or if that was that. We're going to play that right now. Could you imagine if them was my kids, or one of them was? First thing out my mouth before I mollywop the hell out of my kid would have been like, you ran down on a stranger you ain't know, took the keys to her car because you saw her get out of it, and you liked the car and you wanted to steal it and joyride. You took the keys to a car and couldn't drive it? That right there, because you know I look on a common sense level. It's bad enough you attacked this lady. They ain't have nothing to do with you, or you walking your butt home and tried to steal a car and didn't know how to drive stick. Embarrassing. I'd have beat him under my house. You know, they say they need to put people under the jail, I'd have beat him under my house. If we didn't have a basement, we'd have made one. You know what I'm saying? We would have made one. I'd have pound caked him through that first floor. Unacceptable. Out 2 hours later, what do you think the punishment was when they went home? Probably, get out my face. Go sit down. Of course, can't do nothing with them. Or you will stay in the house a couple of days. That does not replace the terror that this woman went through. The first boy that attacked her supposedly was the 12-year-old. That was a big 12-year-old. He tackled her. Boom, she hit her head and everything. Woman so shell-shocked. Teenager, she don't want to be seen on TV. And she want to be in anonymity or whatever it is because she in fear for herself from children. We should not be scared of our own damn kids, let alone anybody else's. We shouldn't. Guys, I'm going to show you something. This is the reason why I made that video earlier, was because this story here. I saw this earlier in the morning and I figured I'd do it tonight as a, and talk to you guys on here. Let me show you something. And this is why I start to really go hard on topics like this, because, children don't think straight anyway. They're with us until they're 18 years old for a reason, because they're not ready to be out there on their own, because they're going to make irrational decisions. A lot of stupid stuff ensue. And they're not ready to be out there. But a lot of kids roam the street at night. A lot of kids don't have the supervision. A lot of kids don't listen, and a lot of them want to just be out there where the excitement is. And that's why when you put a gun in somebody's hand like this, or they're susceptible to being influenced by music, movies, influential figures that they think, on their level at an older age that they want to emulate, this is the result. Let me show you this. I was searching this lady up, right? And I came across this. You see this woman up here? Her name is Tracy Corbin. She's from Akron, Ohio. She's 52 years old. I think it was in September or August. She was coming from a bus trip. She was on the bus, just regular transit bus. She got off the bus at 9 o'clock at night. She was harassed, followed, attacked, and robbed of her purse by a group of teens. Look at her face, y'all. She didn't know these teens. Followed behind her, harassed her, ran up on her. I think they punched in the face, and I think they threatened a pepper spray or something, and she called the police. That lady's 52 years old, minding her business. Just want to go home like everybody else. And they succumb to some violence like that. Why? Then you ask these kids why they do something. I don't know. I mean, think about it. When has it been cool to just, hey, we're bored. Let's just go beat the hell out of any random person we see without even thinking that they might be as crazy as us. That's why when crimes like this happen and people steal cars and they run and crash, the car burn up, they burn up in there, and or police shoot them down or something like that, how can we defend or feel as if you were done wrong if you're out there willingly doing something? And that's the thing. A lot of us out here defend the criminal aspect of something that our kids do. Why? Because they're our kids. There's no extension of you. You got to take the blame in it some way or another. Either you didn't have them around positive male influences, or you was too busy trying to make ends meet the way you can give him adequate child care to where, or like you wasn't supervising. It doesn't matter. I mean, anything can happen. But the bottom line is this stuff got to stop, y'all. It got to stop. Got to stop. And these are the issues that a lot of social groups and a lot of leaders and all this stuff need to really pound the table at and call out. You wait till after the damage is done and a kid go out there and get wrongfully killed, quote unquote, the word wrongfully, which is up for debate. Then you want to march and have outrage because you had a connection to that person. And no matter what he did, whoever did something to him after him doing multiple things to other people, they're wrong and you want justice for him. We all messed up inside. Nobody will take us seriously until we start taking the problems that we have seriously before we jump up and complain about how we want justice for someone that, did something to somebody else. Stuff like this shouldn't happen. It shouldn't. And the ones that want to sit up here and be recognized as people fighting for the people and all this stuff don't say nothing about this. They don't. Don't say nothing about it. What is a more bigger fight than the fight for our children and the future of us as a people moving forward to constant elevation? What's more important than protecting those that still believe in the fabric of good American values and just growing and wanting a stable life and wanting to be happy? What's wrong with that? What's that? Don't matter? It don't? Man, it's some sickening stuff around here. It's like we ass backwards, all of us. We don't call out what needs to be called out, but we want to say something about something that's way over here, but the root is right here. We need to rip the Band-Aid off of this bullshit and start working on it. Pour the alcohol or the peroxide on the wound, let the shit bubble up and sting for a little bit. Just go through it. I said this before, it's going to take generations to fix this. People parent the way they were parented a lot of times. Some of these children nowadays are being raised feral. They know that they have a mom and dad, but that's about it. This is what happens when you have children with no leadership or guidance. They go and do whatever they want and follow whoever they want and try to figure out what it is in their life, the direction they want to go. And most of the time they end where? Nowhere, walking in circles, doing the same stuff. Then they get old, and when time catches them, they look back and see how they blew it. And it's always somebody else's fault. Let me tell you something. I'm 50 years old and it came fast. That's a lot of old people. It came fast. With you working and being occupied with just going towards common goals and achieving things, and your life will pass right before your eyes. A lot of us that are older wish we could go back with the wisdom we had, but wisdom is learned through the experience of things. You can't gain a lot of wisdom to help you in life as far as making it out here when you're in there in the penitentiary. You're sitting on a shelf collecting dust. And you can't blame anybody else for that but yourself. Because regardless of how you say it, everybody knows right and wrong to an extent. You run up to somebody and smack them or knock them on the ground, their head start bleeding, you see you cause pain. That's what? Wrong, right? You shoot somebody, knowing that, they got the baby in their arms. Or you're out there selling drugs or doing whatever you want to do, knowing that if the police catch you, they might beat the shit out of you and you're going to jail for a long time. 3 things we was taught when we was young. All of us was taught this. One of the basic things we teach a child. Don't touch something that ain't yours. You know what I'm saying? Don't beg. You know what I'm saying? And what's the third one? Don't hit. Where the hell did it go? Because it seems like some adults out here and young kids that are able to go to the store and walk around and have a little bit of independence don't even know that. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.